Hello, and welcome to the Title III STEM Grant Tech Training Series. This installment will focus on the Smart Podium. So welcome to the Smart 24-inch fully integrated display Podium, or what we call the Smart Podium. This device is operated exclusively with a pen. The pen is attached to it. It has a magnetic tray at the bottom. This will not work with your finger. As you can see when I'm pushing on the screen, nothing is happening. But as soon as I pick up the pen, you'll see dots that will show up. So only be able to operate this with the pen. When you're operating the Podium, if the screen is blank, the first thing you would want to check is the power button. The power button is green when it is turned on, and it is red when it's turned off. It also has a sync button, which will either be red, solid green, or blinking green. If it is red, then that indicates that the Podium is not communicating with the computer. If it is flashing green or solid green, then it's communicating with the computer and it's ready to use. You'll also see a series of buttons across the top of the display. The first button is a camera button. Pressing this button opens up a dialog which allows you to do screen captures that can then be imported into the Smart Notebook software, which we'll cover in a later training series. To close this, simply use the pen and click the red X. The next button, which looks like a notebook, will activate the Smart Notebook software. Pressing this button will open the program, and it will also open a new Smart Notebook file. The next button that we see on the display is a keyboard button. Pressing this button will activate the on-screen keyboard. The keyboard can be moved depending upon where you would like it using the pen, and can also be typed on using the pen. And like everything else, we just close it by clicking the red X. We also have an eraser button. We'll discuss that in just a moment after we talk about the 4 colored buttons. The 4 colored buttons correspond to the 4 different colors of ink that can be used when using the Podium. So if we click on the black, we can then write on the screen with black. We can click the red, green, and blue. Ooh. And blue. These are the 4 standard colors that come on the Podium. The Smart software itself has a more diverse array of colors if you are looking for something other than the 4 primaries. Let's go back now to the eraser button. Pressing the eraser button then allows us to come on the screen and using the pen, go ahead and erase anything that we've drawn or annotated. We can change the size of our eraser. So if we want to get large areas, and then if we want something really small, we can change it to that size. These 2 buttons here, the first button is our select tool. It's also our arrow tool. We can come in here and we can select something that has been on the screen, an object or perhaps a drawing or something, and then at that point, if we want to move that section, we can do that. We can also get rid of this by clicking the little gray arrow and clicking delete. That's another option if you're not using the eraser. This button here is our mouse. Specifically, it now works as our right click. So when we click the screen with our pen, it's the equivalent to right clicking with the mouse. And then we can go back to that using our arrow, which will then return us to our pen operating as a left click for our mouse. The last 2 buttons you'll see here is a question mark, and then there's a crosshairs. Pressing the question mark brings up our help and support, so if there's anything that you are having a problem with and you would like to try to troubleshoot it yourself, there's a dialog box that will pop up that can help you there. And then the last button is actually a button that you may find yourself using more than you would think. This is the alignment or orientation button. Clicking this button will open a new screen, and it allows us to set the pen. If you're having problems with the pen and it's not responding in the area in which you are using it or the area in which you think you're drawing on the screen, then you can click the alignment orientation and then follow the grid that's provided. So we would just simply start here and follow the red arrows. So we're going to trace that all the way around. And you may notice initially that your line is off, and by the time you get to the end, it should be oriented correctly. And now we're going to do the target orientation by clicking with the pen. And now our screen should be oriented to exactly where we want it to be. This concludes our introduction to the Smart Podium. If you would like any information about this device or any other devices offered by the Title III HSI STEM grant, please contact us. Thank you.